Good morning. What's up, traders? How is everyone doing today? Happy Thursday. Did everyone survive FOMC yesterday? Hopefully you all survived. I actually purposely scheduled some errands that I had to do. So I wasn't tempted to look at the charts because FOMC and me do not do well. So yeah, I survived FOMC because I stayed away. I'm glad that is all behind us, though. So taking a look at today, I'm actually in a couple of longs. The long that I'm in on gold, I actually shared in Discord this morning. And I took out half of my position at VWAP. And then I'm just going to see how the market opens. I have my full TP set at overnight high. So we'll see how it goes. My stop loss is at break even. And then this one is based off of my game plan that I laid out for today. Let me see if I can pull it up. So my thought was, I was kind of watching this level right here. I know it's a little bit messy with all the arrows and stuff, but yesterday's point of control and then just the significant area that I've been talking about for the last week, I feel like 25,600. This high volume node right here. My plan was that if we stayed above that level, I would be looking for longs. So we broke above it with some good momentum and then had a retest of point of control. So that is why I entered a long. I'm already putting my stop loss at break even though, because I'm not a big fan of being in a position right at the open. So all the crazy algos going up and down, at least I'll get out of it for $0 if that's what happens. And then news, I believe all we had was this morning. Yeah. Done with news. That was at 8:30 Eastern. We had trade balance and initial jobless claims. But still be aware of that. A lot of times if the data is released before the market opens, it can increase the volatility at the open. I mean, it's always volatile at that time anyway, but just be aware. And then we have White House press briefing and Trump signing ceremony and a couple other things going on this afternoon. At like 1 p.m. is when the White House briefing is. So not a great time to trade anyway. I don't like that middle of the day trade time. But that's the plan. Looks like it might come out down and hit my break-even stop loss. I'm okay with that. But that's still my area that I'll be watching at the open. This high volume node support area that I see, 25,600-ish. If we hold above that, I'll be looking for some continuation up. We do have VWAP all the way down here at 580. What are you guys thinking in the chat? What's your plan today? You thinking the pump up from FOMC is going to continue, or are we going to retrace some of this? Um, 25,800 is where we closed last night, and that's right up by Asia high. So that's an interesting long target if we do move up at the open. It's gonna be a good one. I'm ready for it. I hope you guys are ready. I think I told you guys last week that I work out at 5 a.m. So I'm usually up by 4 a.m. And by the end of the week, it kind of just starts to wear on me. But I've decided to make Thursday my rest day. So I sleep in, get like an extra hour and a half of sleep. It's not really sleeping in. I still wake up at 5:30. But I'm feeling good. It's like a nice little midweek recharge. Or end of the week recharge, I guess. Maria, you think we're going up to 765 and then down? 765, huh? I don't know. I feel like if we're going to go all the way up to 765, grabbing that Asia high liquidity and closing the overnight gap wouldn't be that far, much further away. It's like 30 points away. All right, hit my break-even stop loss. I'm good with that. Like I said, I don't love being in a position pre-market if it's chopping like this. All right, 2 minutes until the market opens. Let's see what we get. Gotta turn off all my alerts. I always set alerts, and then like when the New York Open starts, everything's going off. I like that plan, Zach. Wait for everything to settle first and then find an entry. Wise plan. Zach, how long have you been trading? From what I remember, you're fairly new-ish to all this. Alrighty. Let's go. Markets open. Good morning, old trader. Old trader has his coffee. He's ready. Let's go. Okay, Zach. So yeah, still somewhat new to it. Seems like you got your good head on your shoulders. The right mindset about it. Woohoo! What a move down. My goodness. All right, coming down to VWAP. This red line that I have that you see, that is anchored from this low, the overnight low at 382. So I like using anchored VWAPs from highs and lows like that just to kind of see who has the momentum. Like if we hold above that, which is also in line with the session VWAP, then I could still feel decent about longs. I mean, obviously I'm not going to take a long right now because that's a big giant red candle, but just if things start to kind of settle and buyers show up in this general area, longs for me have not been invalidated yet. But yeah, definitely staying patient. That was a big dump down. Manipulation move, yeah. Agreed. All right, China small, long. Going to be quick to cut it if I'm wrong. I liked the area for the bounce. It was worth a shot. Let's see if things settle a little bit here. So far, this is our opening range high. How did QQQ open? Well, at least gold is doing what I wanted it to do. NQ's dropping. Sometimes you love Top Step X, sometimes you hate it. Oh man. I used to love Project X. Like a couple months ago, that was what I recommended to people. Like, man, Project X is awesome. The risk management tools are great. It's so easy to trade on. Copy trading is easy. I liked how you could manage your positions from your phone. Like if you enter a trade and then it's just taking a while and you want to leave your computer, it's really easy to manage from your phone. Like I used to love it. But the outages and how constant they are, oh my gosh, it is not worth it. I'm done with them. Okay. Smaller position, but it's still holding that area that I like. Going to try again. Come on. Might need to switch the plan if it doesn't start bouncing. Maverick, yeah, I'm trading on TradingView. I actually am using a copy trader. So the way I have it set up is I can just trade one account and it copies to my other ones. So I'm trading with Top Step, Lucid, and TradeDay all at the same time. And I have them all set to, like in Tradeovate, I have all of the daily profit targets set to where it'll close my position at a certain amount so that I can stay within my consistency and not have to worry about managing each position individually. So that's how I have it set up. I'm using TradeSync. I actually have a referral link that I can post in the Discord. They have a 7-day free trial. That's the main reason I tried them out, because most of the other ones. So I really like TradeSync. It's not the cheapest. I'll be totally honest with you. It's depending on which one you go with. It's $50 a month or $99 a month, and you pay monthly for it. But it's super, super easy to use. It also has some other features that some of the other ones don't. And I didn't really like that some of the other ones, you have to like download this software, and it just seemed super clunky. All the videos that I watched, it seemed overwhelming to use. I was like, man, copy trading is going to be stressful enough. I don't want to have to worry about a software that's not user friendly. So TradeSync is the one that I tried and I really liked it. But yeah, I can post the link in Discord later for a 7-day trial if you guys want to give it a shot. Gosh, this is choppy. Definitely don't want to be trading NQ right now until something settles. TradeSync is what it's called. If you're just trading with one prop firm, you can copy trade inside of Tradeovate or NinjaTrader. You don't really need a third-party copier. The reason I have it is I wanted to be able to copy trade across different prop firms. Yeah, G-Man, I am liking it. I think it's helping me be more selective with my trades and not feel like I need to find a good trade for these set of accounts, a good trade for this one, and a good trade for this one. I can just wait for that one setup and take it in all of them. So it's helping a lot with not over trading. I think that's the biggest thing so far. Cheachamus, it's Trade SYNCER, I think. Trade Sinker. Let me see if I can find the link real quick for you guys. And I do have a code Krista, if you guys want to try it out, but I'm not trying to sell you on it. Like I said, they have a 7-day free trial. So at the very least, you can even just give them a try. The reason I haven't really talked about it and like pushed my referral link or anything like that is honestly because copy trading is something I would not recommend for most people. Like it's kind of more of an advanced thing or a quick way for you to blow more money if you're not ready for it yet. So approach with caution. I just posted the link in the chat, you guys. There's the link to the website and the free trial if you want to give it a shot. Charles, yes, you can do different groups of copied accounts. So what you do is you link all of them to your trade copier, and then you have what they call a cockpit. And inside of there, you can like group them. So if you want to have like 2 from this prop firm and 2 from this prop firm that you're trading, and then, you know, have whatever system you want to spread your risk, you can do that. Another thing that I'm really excited about, it's not developed yet, but it's being worked on and supposed to be released soon. But, you know, with new tech, soon could be next week. It could be in 2 months. I don't know. I don't have a timeline on it. But they're starting some risk management tools inside the Sinker that are very similar to Project X, to where you can lock out your account and not trade those accounts anymore if you've hit your daily loss limit or whatever. Now, obviously, you can override TradeSyncer and you can like go straight into TradeAvate and continue to trade, but hopefully you're not being that much of a degen with it. So I'm looking forward to that part of it, the risk management stuff. Well, dang, this is quite a choppy, ugly open. I'm glad that I'm in this gold trade instead. So gold kind of looks like it just wants to go to the moon. I have my TP set at the overnight high, and I'm just going to leave it there. It probably could keep going higher, but I'm not going to be greedy and I'll lock it in. What? G-Man, do I get to be invited to the Gold Club now? Let's go. Poker Channel, my gold entry, I actually took 2 trades on gold. The first one that I posted in Discord, it was right here. That's what I took, and I exited at VWAP. That was the first gold trade. I exited at VWAP. I actually got out probably right about here. It hit my trailing stop loss because I was watching VWAP to see what happened there. So that one, yes, it stopped out, and then I re-entered down here after it grabbed this liquidity. You can see right here, it retested that overnight low. I wouldn't really say technically it grabbed liquidity because it didn't quite touch it, but it came down to that low, and you can see volume picked up, and that was right around the time that the gold session open actually happened. So I just rode the momentum up. I trailed my stop loss pretty aggressively because I wasn't sure if it was going to reject VWAP again, and I took half of my position off there and then just rode the rest of it to where we're at now. All right, NQ is sitting at yesterday's value area low, but it's looking pretty droopy. Have no interest in taking a long right here. Coming down to previous day low. Is this going to just be like a slow fall off a cliff? Or are we going to actually find a bottom and go back up? I don't know. This is kind of a yucky open. Someone said YM looks a whole lot better. A better move on YM. Let's see. Aw, man. Why didn't someone tell me? Obviously, hindsight's 2020. I wouldn't have known just to like market order in. Jeez. Did anyone in the chat trade YM? That was pretty nice. Hopefully someone made money on that. YM's not even on my radar. Like, I never watch it. So much for a liquidity grab at previous day low on NQ. Man. All right, I'm taking 3 off. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Exiting that one. I meant to take off 3 of my golds. So just have 2 left on gold. Wow. Look at that move down. We got London low coming up here. And then if that doesn't hold, might as well go all the way down to Asia low. Jeez. Everything's dumping right now. Well, everything except YM, apparently. All right, coming down to London low. Let's see what happens here. See if we get a little liquidity grab, bounce. What you gonna do, NQ? No signs of a bounce. Gosh. I'm sad I missed that whole move down. Bummer. Trying to hold at that London low. I have it on the 1 minute chart though. That was a weak sauce bounce right there. Oh my gosh. Wasn't it yesterday we were talking about all the 6, 7 and all the words that the kids say these days that we have to like look at an urban dictionary to interpret? Weak sauce is another one of those things that if you're older, you probably know. Did anyone else say weak sauce? As soon as it came out of my mouth, I had to laugh at myself. Went small on this one, probably dumb, trying to catch up on a knife. Nope. All right. Gotta stop that. All right, so thoughts on NQ. If we do get a bounce back up to this opening range low and VWAP area, which is at like 555, we could possibly take a short. Or if it comes all the way down to this overnight low first, there might be a bounce opportunity there. We also have the initial balance is going to be set in 30 minutes. There might be some opportunities there too. All right, someone else in the chat said weak sauce too. Love it. Eight, 6, 7, 5, 3, 0, 9. Yep. Love it. Teaching your pre-K kid to sing that song to break the 6-7 cycle. That's hilarious. Yep, definitely said rad. And drew those Stussy S's. That was like the cool thing to draw all over your homework papers when you were bored. Good times, good times. What's a 6-7 ministry twitch? I don't know. Does anyone actually know what 6-7 means? I think if I remember right, I looked it up on Urban Dictionary because that's how I talk with my kids these days and understand them. And I have to look up the words. I think it means so or kinda, because they always do this with their hands, like 6-7. So. I don't know. Honestly, I'd probably have to Google that one. I don't remember. At this point, it's just a joke. Like if we're on page 67 in a book or like exit number 67 on the freeway, like every time that number comes up, we all just giggle about it because it's all over the place. But I don't know what it means. Barf out. Yep, that was a good one. That was like what the Valley girls said, like the popular girls at school. Barf out. I never really said that. I love hanging out with all my fellow old people in the chat. This is great. Ah, there's the definition for 6-7. Yeah, that kind of goes along with the like kind of so-so, a little above average. That makes sense. All right, we're down at this 400 level, which is looking at the hourly. From what I remember, it's a decent level. Let's see what happens down here at this Asia low. If that doesn't hold, we're in trouble. After 381, could be 330s. What a move. When will it stabilize? Are you talking about the price, this drop down? Who knows? Does anyone have a magic 8 ball? Can anyone tell me when it's gonna stop? Who knows? The levels I see, like I said, Asia low could bounce there. If not, this area, 330-ish. Oh my gosh, Clueless. I forgot about that movie. That was a good one. I liked that movie. I watched that one a lot when I was younger. Like that one was on repeat. That one I think was one of those back in the day when you actually owned a VHS and you watched the movie over and over. I think I had a VHS of Clueless. Zach, can I tell you when I should enter a trade? Or when you should enter? Hold on, let me go get my magic 8 ball. Let me look. You should probably just chase it at this point and just enter a short. I hope you know I'm being sarcastic. Very much so. Don't enter a short at this point. After it has already moved. This dump right here, like after the chop, not even counting from the market open, almost a 200-point move down. It could definitely go lower for sure, but I would not enter a short right here at a spot where we could get a bounce. Oh, Jack to the T said 6-7 means something like indifferent. Like, I don't care. Who knows? All right, kind of starting to look like it might be settling a little bit. Asia low is right here at 382. It has not gone down there yet. Kind of settling around this 400 level. Let's see if it starts to find a bottom. Yeah, so Lucid is one of the only prop firms I've heard of. I mean, I haven't researched every single one, but one of the only ones I've heard of that allows swing trading, but it is in their live program. They don't allow it in the sim funded stage. But that's kind of a big deal. I don't know of any other prop firms that offer that. So just get to live. Get 6 payouts. Get to the live stage and you can start swing trading with them. I would have liked to see it actually come grab that liquidity, but that is a pretty good bounce there. I'm gonna be smart about if I enter a long, since I've already tried to catch a falling knife twice now. Don't want to mess it up again. So see how this 5-minute candle closes. So far, so good. And then see if it pulls back a little bit. Getting closer to our initial balance being set. I'll go ahead and mark this for now. Anyone in the chat who trades failed auctions, this is actually setting up for a sweet trade right here. The thing with those though is it might happen 2 hours from now. So it could bounce all the way back up to like the opening range low, the 15-minute opening range low, and then come back down. But this is the initial balance liquidity, and then we also have the overnight liquidity. So if it comes down and grabs both of those and then has a quick buy up off of it, those are my favorite initial balance trades, failed auction trades. I'd have to go look at my stats, but my win rate on those is in the 70s, is pretty good. Just got to be patient and wait for the setup. But it's almost like there's double liquidity grabs right there. So it looks like it's going to bounce up from here and move away from initial balance. So might have missed that long, which I'm okay with. But I'll definitely be setting an alert down here if I hop off the live stream and it ends up happening a couple hours from now. Just giving you guys a heads up, that could be a good trade opportunity. Well, definitely got a good bounce. Hindsight's always 2020, but I was already trying to pick the bottom earlier and needed to give myself a slap on the wrist and stop doing that. So I was like, okay, this time I'll be patient. And it never came back down and gave us a good entry. So I'm okay with missing it this time. Need to get better at following my rules. Let's see what happens up in this anchored VWAP area. So this light blue line is from the New York session. The darker blue line is from the overnight open. So if we start to reject at either one of these, I think I like the session open VWAP better because that's also where the 15-minute opening range low is. So like 25, 550. If we start to see some selling pressure there, that could be a good short. And maybe ride it back down to that initial balance low. Something like this, perhaps. I also like having it come back up here better too, because that's also where this chop was earlier at the New York Open. And that's kind of where the initial like high volume move went down. So it'd be kind of closer to this range. And then a good stop loss, good clean stop loss up there. You're impressed that I stayed in the gold trade? Well, I've taken a lot off. I started off with 10 contracts. I took off 5 at VWAP. And then, I don't know if you were watching, but I took off 3 on this dip right here, right where my cursor is. Like once it started to sell off, I was like, all right, I'll take off 3. So I was okay with it hitting my stop loss if it was going to happen. For me, it's kind of the risk to reward of it. Like I've already pulled out a good amount of profits and I'm okay with it hitting my stop loss. So this is kind of just a free money trade at this point. All right, it's coming up to this area that I was watching. Let's see if sellers start to show up here. Yeah, Poker Channel, I usually set alerts. So if I see something super clear as I'm logging off the stream, I'll tell you guys what I'm watching for. If it's just a choppy, ugly day and I have nothing to say, then I don't really give anything. But I'll usually set alerts at an area of interest. So like today, for example, if I walk away, I would definitely set an alert down here at initial balance low because that is a trade that I could see I would want to take a long off of. If with the right confirmation, of course. But yeah, I like setting alerts. It helps me to not feel like I need to sit in front of the computer so I don't miss a trade. Because I want to be able to get up and walk away and not stare at the screen because that makes me overtrade for sure. The more time I'm in front of the computer, the more I'm like hunting for a trade and not just following my rules and waiting for the right setup. I've learned that about myself. Gotta walk away. All right, let's see what happens up here. Does TradingView send you a text? I've never gotten texts. It sends a notification. So if you have the TradingView app on your phone, you can set it up to send you an email or a notification. I've never tried text. I don't think I would want to, but I don't believe so because TradingView doesn't have my phone number. So I just have the TradingView app on my phone, and then it sends a notification that pops up on my home screen. Well, maybe we're just gonna go straight to the moon and not reject at VWAP. WTF, man. I just sat through this whole like 160 point move up because I'm like, I'll take a short. I'll just wait for this short. Nope. Not yet. No signs of it happening right now. My goodness. Look at that bounce. Maybe I should have just entered on FOMO and like ridden the momentum up. No, those are always the trades that in hindsight I'm like, oh, I should have just done it. But then the times that I actually do it, it dumps on me. There's a little gap right there. Yeah, jack to the T's. That's very true. Like just your body language. If you're like sitting at the computer and like you feel your neck muscles getting tighter and your finger is like on the mouse ready to click the button, sitting in that position for like an hour, that's a lot, right? So just the body language of like sitting back, relaxing, it kind of goes along with the mental side of it too, just calming yourself down mentally, making yourself relax, reminding yourself to be patient. Those are all good things. Yeah, that's tough, Zach. I did that with a couple of the other ones. And that's why I missed this trade because I was reminding myself I need to be patient. And so far I have not entered this one, but it's kind of starting to slow down a little bit. The rejection, the sell-off might happen. It might reject here. All right, going to enter. Going small on it because I wanted to be able to give it room to potentially come up here if I entered at the wrong time. Also, the fact that if it does come back down to this initial balance low and Asia low, that's 150 points. Not counting on it, obviously, but that would be the target if the trade works out how I'm thinking. Or this thing could just be bouncing back up to some of these highs of the day. Okay. Maybe we're not going down today. Gosh. Bounced off 566 and it may hold. Yep. It might. Kind of starting to reclaim that 15-minute low. Jack to the tees. I hope so. I hope you're right. That's kind of the level I have too. I wasn't thinking all the way down to 330. I mean, if it doesn't hold Asia low, yes. I know it doesn't always have to be a super clean liquidity grab. The thing that annoys me and why I'm thinking it could come back down is it never touched Asia low. This is totally a mom brain thing. Maybe your parents can relate, but it's almost like you vacuumed or you washed dishes or something and you like missed a spot and you just have that like achy feeling in your stomach like, oh, I gotta fix that thing. That's what this feels like to me. The New York low did not touch Asia low. And I feel like it needs to. I don't like using the word need with NQ or trading in general because it can do whatever the heck it wants. It follows its own rules. It makes its own rules. But still, that's the way it feels. Gosh dang it, NQ. All right, what is ES doing? Is ES above its VWAPs too? Jeez. Both of them, just crazy recovery. ES is actually darn near back at its initial balance high. just breaking out. ES is moving beyond its initial balance high. I guess it's technically the 15-minute opening range high since the IB hasn't been set yet. Olga, it doesn't need to touch Asia low. Or, yeah, it doesn't need to. That's why I kind of took back the word need. It doesn't need to. It just... So my reasoning, honestly, for not entering that trade was I had already taken a couple of losses on longs back here because I was trying to catch a falling knife, as they call it. So I was like, I'll follow my rules and I'll be patient. So my patience, I was waiting for it to actually grab the Asia low liquidity, which to me, that looks like a wick below with an aggressive buy up out of it. And it never actually touched it, and it started to move up early. So then I was like, okay, I'll be patient and wait for a retrace, and it never came back. So it was a missed trade. Wow. This, if you didn't catch like the move, there have been no pullbacks on NQ. Like that initial drop right there, it was like choppy for 20 minutes and then just dumped with no pullback. And then it hit its level and then it just shot up with no pullback. So today, if you didn't hit the spot, you missed it. Five minutes left until the initial balance is set. We are coming back up to this 15-minute opening range low. Let's see if that holds as like resistance or if this thing is just going to the moon. I would be cautious with shorting at the range high if you have that as a thought, because ES already broke past its high. So there's a chance ES could do the same, or NQ could do the same. Take note, Marvel, you love buying the dips. Yeah, there wasn't one. It didn't give us a chance. Yeah, H. Cabrera, I have feeling on that one. 25,600 is a pretty big level. It could like come up and reject that high and start to get below 600. Shorts would look good in that instance. But yeah, this is looking strong. So at this point, I'm watching to see what happens at this range high, which in 2 minutes, it might end up being the initial balance high. See if we get a strong sell-off there, or if we pull back before then. VWAP, I know it's hard to see. It's kind of under all this stuff, but it's right down here at value area low, 15-minute opening range low. So 25,555 could be a decent pullback spot if it comes back down to here. That could be a good long opportunity. Let's see what we get. Starting to reject a little bit. Are we going to get that pullback I'm looking for? Well, at this point, this is our initial balance high now. And ES IB high over here. Making its way down. I want to see what it looks like if it gets down to here. What is our range? It looks like it's pretty big today. 258 points. Not too shabby. Come on down a little bit more, NQ. Is a failed auction not as likely from up here? So it could. Definitely could be a failed auction. I'll kind of tell you, that's a good question, Poker Channel. The reason I wouldn't be as excited about a failed auction up here is because we're kind of getting to an area of support. I could see where we could possibly reject a little bit and maybe pull back to VWAP, so the risk to reward wouldn't be as good. So like, let's say it rejects and I enter here. My target for me personally would be down to VWAP somewhere in this area, but I would have to put my stop loss up above these wicks. So you can see the risk to reward on that is like a 1.4. And the reason I personally would not target all the way back down to the bottom of the range, because this 400 level is a pretty strong level. You can see that it bounced hard. So like the trend for me, my bias is longs. So taking a failed auction from the top, it would kind of be going against the trend, and I would look at that more as a scalp just to grab a little bit of a pullback, versus if the failed auction happened down here, which it didn't, but if it had come back down here and grabbed Asia low liquidity, like I probably would have been comfortable holding that one all the way back up to IB high, just because it would have been with the trend and at a really good support level. I would have scaled out along the way, but I definitely would have held a runner all the way back up to the highs. So that's kind of my thought process on the initial balance failed auctions, is if it happens with the trend and there's other confluences like this one where there's 2 liquidity sweeps, I would feel a lot more confident than if I took a failed auction from the top in this example, because I think it could continue higher today. That's kind of my thought process behind the whole thing. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, kind of starting to make its way down to that level around 550-ish. Let's see what happens. Where is our point of control for the session now that we're an hour in? If it doesn't bounce here at this 550 level, I could see it coming down to 530, which is also previous day low and the New York anchored VWAP. So kind of just watching for a reaction at both of these, 550 or 530. going to enter a small position. That way I have room to give it if it does come down to the other VWAP. And then even just back to IB high, that's a good target, but this thing just, it could keep coming up to London high. We have Asia high, like it could fill the overnight gap at 25,800. We shall see. May have gotten in a little bit too early. Let's see if it comes and bounces off the other VWAP. If not, who knows? We could be coming back down to IB low, and I could have been wrong. We're about to find out. Gold's about to hit, finally. That was, you guys, I entered this trade at, when was that? 7:20 Central Time, so 2 hours and 20 minutes ago. This was a 2 hour and 20 minute trade. Let's go. That was fun. Just kind of had it going on in the background. All right, now let's see if NQ actually bounces here. There's lots of confluence on NQ at this level. Value area low, 15-minute opening range low, both of the VWAPs. Like, I like it to hold this general area. I just might be too early, which is why I sized down. I don't like that it's being so droopy. That momentum is not continuing. What is ES doing? Oh, wrong one. All right, Waffles, have a good one. Hey guys, if you haven't hit the like button already, I forgot to give you a reminder. Go hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. It's a free way to support the channel. Alrighty, it's coming down. Maybe we are going to go back to IB low. Did I give you permissions to talk? I don't know. I didn't change anything. Uh-oh. We're in trouble. Oh, trouble, trouble. I didn't know that. Maybe I need to turn down my speakers. Mute myself. All right, it's starting to bounce where I want it to bounce. I'm going to add one more little contract. I'm going small on this one because if it holds this level and continues, the upside that I see is big. So I don't need to size that much. Also, I still could be wrong. So, gonna manage risk, right? Come on, NQ, are we gonna hold? Are we gonna actually move anywhere, or has the excitement died off? Did the party stop? No more party for NQ? Everyone went out for a coffee break and they're done buying? The buyers left the building. No, come back. Come back. Did gold keep going up? Let me see. No, it kind of stalled there. That was a decent target. Alrighty, coming on down. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna call it there. It's kind of chopping around in the middle a little bit right now. So I'm gonna do what I said earlier. I'm gonna set some alerts at initial balance high, initial balance low, and kind of just see what we get, any sort of reactions there. But that way I'm not over trading or trying to search for anything at this point, because it's kind of diddling in the middle. So as always, if you want to support the channel and you're using prop firms, use code Krista. I would appreciate it. And then hop in our Discord. If you guys haven't joined already, there is a link in the description. Come hang out with us. If I take any other trades today, I'll share them with you guys. Otherwise, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great one.